For many visitors throughout history, Table Mountain has appeared like a natural Lady Liberty. For South Africans, she is our icon and the wonder who has greeted 5 centuries of travelers and explorers arriving in South Africa. I'm Cameron Peters, founder of Cape Town Heritage Tours, and I want to show off to you the myriad of ways in which my city is more than just a pretty face. So come with me as we tease out the lore of the Cape and discover the secrets of the beautiful city nestled at the base of Table Mountain. Before Cape Town was a city, it was a river. I'm standing in Rooibos Park in the suburb of Oranjesicht in the Upper Table Valley. The Khoi people used to come here every winter for more than 2,000 years to bring their cattle to water from springs at the foothills of Table Mountain. They used to call the grand dam behind me Hurukwacho, the mountain rising from the ocean. And they called the valley the springs led into Kamissa, the place of beautiful waters. And when the Europeans arrived, they also came for the water. 500 years ago, Table Bay was the halfway point of any sea voyage across the world, and the only dependable oasis for 1,000 miles in any direction. In the 18th century, a small Dutch aristocracy of land-owning, slave-holding farmers transformed the Cape Peninsula into a Dutch landscape of orange farms and vineyards. But before all that, they used it as a post office. But instead of a post box, they used postal stones, like this one, still on display in a glass case under Strand Street in the CBD. A street so named because it's exactly where you would have found it, lying where the beach used to be nearly 400 years ago. But this one is a replica. And this is the original. Right now I'm standing in the attic exhibit of the Cape Town City Hall, perhaps the least known and most underrated of all Cape Town's museums. A stone like this would be left by an explorer or trading ship crossing the world from Europe to the East. The inscription on this stone reads in Dutch that on the 8th of April 1635, a ship called the Amsterdam, led by a captain named Wollebrand Galeensen de Jong, left the stone and then left within a few weeks to Batavia. On Mutual Heights, an Art Deco skyscraper in the heart of the CBD, is one of the longest continuous sculpted friezes in the world. It tells the colonial history of South Africa over 118 meters. And here, right in the corner, carved into the story of South Africa, is a post office stone. I'm standing in the General Post Office building, a grand sandstone monument to the 20th century South African Postal Service. And here's another post office stone, literally embedded in the walls by the entrance hall. This one declares that an English captain named Richard Blythe left letters under this stone in 1622 on his way from Surat in India back to England. But look, it's been recycled. 7 years later in 1629, a Dutch captain named Van Bergen also inscribed his name and left letters under it. This is the Aziko Slave Lodge, the second oldest intact building in the country, Cape Town's Cultural History Museum, and hosted the single largest collection of postal stones anywhere in the country. Not all postal stones are used to send messages back to Europe. Often, when ships navigated around the tip of Africa, they would travel in convoys up to 6 to 7 at a time. Sometimes they would be scattered by huge storms off the Cape of Good Hope, and the leading ships would then leave stones like breadcrumbs to help the ships following retrack them and rejoin the convoy later. The oldest stone we've ever found, though, is this one. From 1505, left by a Portuguese captain named De Nova, not in Table Bay, but in Mossel Bay. Its inscription is incomplete, and it's so old that its original purpose has been lost to time. Altogether, we've uncovered more than 24 of these stones over the last century, while laying foundations for new buildings in the CBD. How many of them could there still be lying under the surface of the city, waiting to be discovered? We have absolutely no idea. The city really is built on buried treasure. Who knows how much history the future holds in store?